Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this week's video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to DJ young adult parties and events. And by young adult, I'm talking about sweet 16s, sweet 15s, quinceañeras, graduation parties, school functions like proms, homecoming, random school dances, anything that involves young kids or young adults. So hang out, let's go through this. Yo, welcome back to the channel, guys. In this week's video, like I had mentioned in the beginning, is going to be all about suggestions, advice, tips, and ideas when it comes to doing those young adult types of events and functions. So sweet 16s, sweet 15s, quinceañeras, graduation parties, school events like proms and homecomings, all of those things where you're going to have teenage kids hanging out and in attendance. Before I go on, again, I got to say this in every single one of my videos. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed, liked, commented. You guys have blown up my channel in just such a short time, and I am so thankful and gracious to all of you. If you are just now tuning in and you're watching my videos, definitely be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and it really kind of keeps me on pace to keep doing these videos every week for you guys. So if you saw last week's video, it was actually my gig log number 3, and it was a Sweet 16 party. I actually do a lot of these types of events every year. Sweet 16, Sweet 15s, quinceañeras are pretty much spread out, any time of the year between January and December. When you get into the April-May time frame, it's a lot of proms from schools, and then June and July are actually a lot of graduation parties. So throughout the year, not just weddings and company events where it's just mostly adults, I do a crazy amount of young adult and teenage type of events as well. And over the years, I've really perfected how I do these types of events, because there's certain criteria and there's certain things that you as a DJ really need to keep in mind whenever you are doing these types of events. They do kind of have some crossover as far as between weddings and the events where there's adults. There are some similarities, but there's also a ton of differences, and I'll kind of go through those in this video. So I'm going to start talking about some tips. So you're booked for a Sweet 16 or a Sweet 15, and it might be your first one, and you're panicking and stressing, and you have all this anxiety, and you're thinking, holy crap, what am I going to do? How do I do these events? Well, don't worry, don't freak out. Okay, so here we go. When you start playing for a teenage event like a Sweet 16 or 15, you want to make sure that your music library is up to date. Kids who are 16, there's a good chance that a majority of those kids that are in attendance are not going to know music past probably 12, 13, 14 years ago. So if you've got an updated library and it has a lot of modern music from the last decade, then really try to stick with that, because that's what the kids who are in attendance, the 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, even 18-year-olds, they're going to want to hear stuff within the last 10 years. So hit up all the DJ record pools. Most of them have playlists and categories that are separated and set up so that if you need music that happened within the last few years, you can easily search for it, find it, and download it very, very quickly and update your library. If you are also trying to find out what's trending and what a lot of kids are listening to, go to TikTok. I know there's a lot of DJs out there that don't use TikTok. They have no idea what it's for and how to upload videos and how to do things. Now, if you've never used TikTok, it's very, very easy to actually go and see what music is trending. You can go in and you can see what the popular stuff is that people are putting on their videos that they upload into TikTok. And because TikTok is such a popular platform with teenagers, they generally will use a lot of the music that you see that is trending. And I'd say 9 out of 10 times when you're doing these young adult type of events and parties, people will come up and they'll ask you for music that you generally will hear or see on TikTok that is trending. So check out the trending lists that are on TikTok if you're on that social channel, and try to download or find a lot of the music that is on there. Just because I'm talking about modern music and TikTok trending music doesn't necessarily mean that you can forget about the adults that are at the party. You never want to forget about the people who are actually paying you. So make sure you're playing music that actually caters to them. There's nothing more funny than when you drop an older song and the parents rush to the dance floor and all the teenage kids just kind of look at them in horror as the parents sort of take it back to the days of when they used to go out to clubs and bars. But always make sure that you're catering to both demographic, the young kids, and obviously the adults. Quick mixing. Quick mixing is your friend. We all know teenagers have very short attention spans. So whenever you are playing music that is targeted towards the younger people, don't keep playing songs that are probably more than 3 or 4 minutes long, because they're just going to get really bored and they're going to lose their attention. So if you can quick mix very well, and do it in a smooth way, have really good transitions after about 2.5 minutes, that's probably pretty good. You're going to keep people's attention and you're going to keep them on the dance floor and they're going to be happy. My next tip is probably one of the most crucial tips that you could have when it comes to doing young adult parties. It is crucial to be able to read the crowd properly. Now, you need to be able to pick up on the slightest variation of energy, because if you're starting to see your dance floor slip and move away, you're going to want to mix into something very quickly that's going to draw everyone back in. So reading your crowd is very, very important. Don't just stick your face in front of your laptop all night and don't just not look at the crowd to know what they're doing. When you're playing a music, look at the energy, look at people's reactions, look at what they are excited to hear, and use that to your benefit. Reading your crowd is what is going to keep you on a path of success and keep your dance floor full. Now, this next tip is actually kind of funny. Be prepared to get a lot of requests. Now, if you're a DJ that doesn't take requests, sweet 16s, 15s, school dances, graduation parties, they're not for you. But if you're okay with taking requests and you can handle requests without any issues or any problems and you can cater to those requests, do it. Because you're going to have a lot of kids coming up to you at the DJ booth asking you to play ABC, XYZ, this or that, and they're going to want to hear it quickly. So make sure that you can handle requests without any problems, and generally a lot of the requests might be something that you just don't have because it's just one of those really obscure things that you've probably never even heard of before, but they found it on TikTok or some other website. But just be prepared because you will get inundated with a ton of requests. And my last tip is, as a DJ, don't take it personal if you don't see some kids dancing. There's going to be a certain percentage of kids that just don't dance. They're not comfortable with it, or they just feel kind of awkward when it comes to dancing. So you're going to see them off to the side, probably with their faces in their phone or just talking with their friends. There's a lot of kids out there that just do not dance. They're just not party people, but they still enjoy themselves. They like coming and being social. They love hanging out with their friends. They love just being around them. So if you see kids not dancing, don't take it personally, because it's just one of those things. It just happens. Now, as a DJ that does these types of events, your number one goal is to keep kids inside the building or the venue. You don't want to lose their attention. You don't want them to get bored, and you don't want them to leave. Parents are dropping off their kids, expecting their kids to be safe and be in good hands, which means that they're going to be inside the building, having fun, dancing, being around their friends, and you don't want them leaving, adventuring off, going down the street, going in someone's car, whatever. So you as a DJ, your number one goal and number one purpose when it comes to doing young adult parties and events is to keep them inside the building and on the dance floor for safety reasons. Now when it comes to doing sweet 16s and 15s and quinceañeras, there's certain traditions and elements of those types of parties that you as a DJ need to familiarize yourself with, such as there's going to be a candle lighting, there's going to be a placement of a tiara, there's going to be an exchanging of shoes. These are all different types of traditions that you need to learn what the meaning of them is, and you're going to need to explain that on a mic to a lot of the guests that are in attendance. There's going to be a lot of people who don't understand what the candle lighting is. They're not going to know why they're switching shoes. They're not going to know why a tiara is being placed on a girl's head. So you need to familiarize yourself with that, learn the meanings, the understandings, and be able to convey that to the guests who are there watching everything unfold. When it comes down to looking at the similarities between a young adult party like a sweet 16 or 15 and a wedding, there are some things that sort of cross over into each other. So with sweet 16s and 15s and quinceañeras, you have a court introduction and parent introductions. With weddings, you have the grand introductions where you introduce the bridal party and the bride and the groom and the parents. Now when it comes to formalities, there are some similar things as well. There's the cake cutting and there's parent dances. So those are introduced and those are played almost very similar as they are with weddings. When it comes to doing the candle ceremony at a sweet 16 or quinceañera, generally there's going to be 16 or 17 candles, and for every candle there's going to be an introduction about what the candle is for, who it's dedicated to, and the meaning or the reason behind lighting it. You as a DJ may have to either announce what that candle lighting is or who it's being dedicated to. So you need to make sure you have names down, and you may have to do a little bit of a speech between each of the candles explaining why they're being lit. So you're going to want to familiarize yourself with that tradition as well. So there you go, guys. Just some real quick ideas and tips and suggestions when it comes to doing a young adult party, specifically sweet 16s and 15s and quinceañeras. I know it's going to be different depending on the area of country that you live in, because what I have found and what I've learned is that depending on where you live, sweet 16s and 15s and quinceañeras are done completely different depending on where you live. I'm here in upstate New York. That's generally how we do things here when it comes to those types of parties. But if you're in a different area and you do things differently, comment below. Tell me where you live and tell me what kind of things and traditions that you do when it comes to sweet 16s, 15s, quinceañeras, because, hey, you know, different areas of the country mean different things, and I'm always looking to learn and see what things are like in other areas or where other DJs are. So let me know. Tell me about some of the events that you do that are specifically for young adults, like teenagers, the sweet 16s, 15s, quinceañeras, school dances, proms. Just let me know, because I'm always interested in learning. Thank you guys once again, and like I said, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll keep putting out these videos every week. Until next time, a day without dancing is a day wasted. Talk to you guys later.